everyone's talking about that White House fight, that White House card next year.
Bro, look at my face. I don't think so. They let me come over there, bro. Bro, I don't know. I'm like an athlete, you know, sportsman. All my life I've been training. You know, some guys taking like some people like put me in the positions like, you know, like politic shit. You know, break my visa down, and I don't know why, but I'm just doing for my family fighting training. You know, athletes don't have to be like with politics, you know. Right. I'm not connection. If somebody wants to meet me, I never say no, you know, like, I will be happy if they gives me a fight there, but I don't think so. It's gonna happen.
Oh, undisputed UFC middleweight champion of
the newly crowned champion Khamzat Chimaev might be undefeated, but the target on his back is getting bigger by the day. We've got not one, but two serious warnings being sent his way from fellow fighters who believe they have the blueprint to end his perfect record.
Well, you fought already against Khamzat.
Yes.
We think or we hope that RDR will be doing that also soon. What's, in your opinion, the key for him to win that fight?
I think from the whole division, I think he's the one that has more chance. The whole division, I actually had in my channel, I have a big channel in Brazil. I was talking to Chimaev's coach, jiu-jitsu coach. We fought before, and I asked, who you think is the hardest fight? And then I said, I'm gonna tell you, but then you tell me. And then he said, who you think? I think it's RDR. And then he said, me too. I think it's RDR. I have all RDR videos. He already said I watch everything already, and I think it's not an easy fight, but I think he got to beat one more guy. I think he has an Anthony Hernandez fight coming up.
Yeah.
First up, Gilbert Burns is sending a crystal clear message to the champ. He believes Reinier de Ridder has the best chance of beating Khamzat Chimaev. And if that wasn't enough, rising star Bo Nickel is claiming he sees holes in Chimaev's game and has outlined his own blueprint to defeat the champion. Plus, we'll dive into the biggest question on everyone's mind. Will Khamzat Chimaev headline President Trump's promised White House UFC card? Stick around, because this episode is packed with fight analysis, insider information, and some bold predictions you won't want to miss.
I'm gonna kill that guy. I have power in my hands. I don't care what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna go jump in the cage and smash that guy. You're too little, but I have to go to other divisions. Maybe like, King is here.
He said, oh, he's mad. See you Saturday, buddy.
Can see you every minute. Come on backstage.
Let's start with Gilbert Burns dropping some serious knowledge about the middleweight division. Now, Burns isn't just talking out of nowhere here. He's been in there with Chimaev. He felt that pressure, that dominance firsthand when they went to war at UFC 273. Burns is now saying that from the entire middleweight division, Reinier de Ridder, also known as RDR, has the best shot at dethroning the undefeated champion. But here's what makes this really interesting. Burns didn't just come to this conclusion on his own. He actually spoke with Chimaev's own jiu-jitsu coach. And guess what? The coach agreed. When Burns asked who would be the hardest fight for Khamzat, both men landed on the same name, Reinier de Ridder. Now, Burns trains with de Ridder at Killcliff FC in Florida, so he knows exactly what this guy brings to the table. He describes RDR as having elite-level jiu-jitsu, incredible length, and size that makes you wonder how he even makes the middleweight limit. Burns breaks it down perfectly. To beat this kind of high-level wrestler, you need to have wrestling defense, and your jiu-jitsu has got to be good. You've got to know how to be in bad positions, protect yourself, get up and strike, and I think RDR can do that.
He's okay. I think he got pretty close, but I think I have what it takes. I think to beat this kind of high-level wrestler, you need to have wrestling defense, and your jiu-jitsu gotta be good. It's not that you gotta know how to. You're gonna be in bad position.
Yeah.
You gotta know how to be in bad position, protect yourself, get up, and strike. And I think RDI can do that.
Remember, Chimaev absolutely dominated Dricus du Plessis at UFC 319. Taking him down 12 times and controlling him for over 21 minutes. That's the kind of grappling dominance that has made Chimaev look unstoppable. But Burns believes de Ridder's jiu-jitsu could be the key to neutralizing that advantage. The only problem? De Ridder first has to get past Brendan Allen at UFC Fight Night 262 on October 18th in Vancouver. That's a tough test against a short-notice replacement. But if RDR can get through Allen, we might finally see the fight that could test Chimaev like never before.
What he said? Oh, he's mad. Oh,
Fuck your ass.
He hit the table. The fuck. See you Saturday, buddy.
I can see you every minute. Come on backstage, smash your face.
You ain't do shit.
Like yesterday, yeah, you run around.
Now, if Gilbert Burns' warning wasn't enough to get Khamzat's attention, Bo Nickal is stepping up with his own bold claims. The three-time NCAA Division I wrestling champion is looking at Chimaev's game and saying, "I see holes." This is fascinating because Nickal represents a different kind of threat entirely. While de Ridder brings elite jiu-jitsu to the table, Nickal is coming from the wrestling world, the same foundation that has made Chimaev so dominant.
He's making it look ugly.
The non-stop barrage. He's hurt. He seems hurt. Bo's hurt. He's taking all shots there.
How about this from Reinier de Ridder? Knee to the body, crumbles both.
Nickal suffered his first MMA defeat back in May, but that hasn't shaken his confidence one bit. In fact, watching Chimaev's wrestling-heavy performance against du Plessis seems to have convinced Nickal that this is exactly the kind of fight where his background would shine. Here's what makes Nickal's claim particularly intriguing. He's not just another striker trying to figure out how to deal with Chimaev's takedowns. This is a guy who understands wrestling at the highest level, who spent years studying the ground game, and who believes he can out-wrestle the wrestler.
My question to you now, CLP, do we see the Bo Nickal we saw in the last fight against Hermanson that doesn't take his opponent down? Or do you think Bo learns from that fight in Madison Square Garden where, even though I thought he looked pretty good, the whole world was like, he sucks, he's not good, he didn't use his wrestling, he's scared. Do you think he actually takes chances with this de Ridder?
Yeah, it's a tough one, and yes, I do. Bo is playing this as well as one can play it, saying, listen, this was my strategy. My strategy, my style was to build my confidence on my feet. I've never won on my feet. This guy's never lost on his feet, and though it's not his strong point, it's still a lot stronger than it is mine. How much of that is true or how much of that is reworking reality? I'll leave that for you to decide. But Bo is saying all of the right stuff. And he said, I just went 15 minutes with a guy.
Nickal is currently preparing for his UFC return with his sights set on the White House event that President Trump has promised for next year. That timeline could actually work perfectly if both fighters continue their trajectory toward title contention. But here's the question we need to ask. Are these holes that Nickal sees real vulnerabilities? Or is this the confidence of a wrestler who hasn't faced the unique combination of skills that Chimaev brings? Because remember, Chimaev isn't just a wrestler. He's got that Dagestani combat sambo background, knockout power, and an unbreakable will that we've seen time and time again. The wrestling versus wrestling matchup would be absolutely fascinating, and it could come down to who can impose their style more effectively in those crucial moments.
Do you still want to turn around and fight in Abu Dhabi?
We'll see what they say. I'm ready always, so no injuries. Thanks, Kat.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, this White House UFC card that President Trump has promised. The big question everyone's asking is, will Khamzat Chimaev be the headliner? Here's what we know. Chimaev told the media after his UFC 319 victory that he suffered no injuries, and even teased a quick turnaround for UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi. Dana White said he would definitely consider it. But now we're hearing that the champ won't be returning until next year. This actually makes perfect sense for the White House card timeline. Think about it. Chimaev is likely to make his first middleweight title defense in early 2026, and if he's successful, that puts him right in position for a summer super show at the White House. Dana White's connections to President Trump make this kind of spectacle not just possible, but probable. We're talking about a UFC event at the most famous address in America, with the newly minted middleweight champion potentially headlining the card.
Bo Nickel said he wanted this fight. He was hoping they would call him. He said your wrestling is trash and his American wrestling would beat yours. Is that a fight you think will happen one day between you and Bo?
Man, the guy's big bullshit, this guy, man. I don't know what he's saying. He's not wrestling for the points, man. Here, we don't play wrestling. He's fighting, man. I don't care somebody takes me down. I don't think so. This guy gonna come to the cage and come and take me down, no. It's not wrestling. We don't stay like wrestlers, man, with this wrestling shit close, man.
Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because as this middleweight title picture develops, you know we'll be here to break down every angle, every call-out, and every fight that shapes the future of the division. Thanks for watching MMA Central, and we'll see you in the next one.
He's afraid, always. He just hold the guys, you know, he's mad at his balls for 25 minutes. Everybody, one more fight, everybody gonna be enough of that guy. That fight was horrible. I think one more, and, you know, then they're going to call me to cut his off.
So how do you know that he takes you down, you get back up? What do you got that DDP didn't have where he couldn't get back up in that fight?
DDP got stuck in that crucifix, you know. Chimaev has good positions above, but he could not hit anyway. But DDP did a worse job. Yeah, he got stuck in the crucifix for 5 minutes, and then when I saw that, I thought, man, the fight is over because you're going to be gassed. But even then, in the last 5th round, he came to fight, and Chimaev was not there to fight to stand up again. He need to put down and hold again. That's it.
Paulo Costa roast Khamzat Chimaev again after the DDP fight. He said he just hold the guys and smell his for 25 minutes. One more fight, everybody gonna have enough of this guy. And also he sends a clear warning message to Shara Bullet Magomedov. He said, one single good eye poke, be penalized with one less point. Shara fights 100% blind. Deal.
Paulo Costa is set to fight Shara Bullet for UFC Qatar. That is happening in 22 November.
We're diving deep into these explosive comments that have the entire MMA world buzzing. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because this breakdown is going to be intense. Let's jump right into the fire. Paulo Costa is absolutely going off on newly crowned UFC middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev, and he's not holding back one bit.
Would it be more special if you were able to take the belt from him when you finally fight for the title again?
Yeah, of course, everybody knows I don't like the guy, but I don't think too much people, many people take he so serious anymore. You know, he just stopped to fight. He didn't beat anybody in the middleweight division, top contenders or something, or even top 15. He didn't beat anybody in the top 15 middleweight division. How you can take this guy serious, you know? He barely cold beat Usman in 10 days short notice. Usman is a welterweight. He didn't cut away to middleweight. And everybody saw that fight. I was there. Even the guy jumping me in the ground is crazy.
After Chimaev's dominant but controversial wrestling-heavy victory over Dricus du Plessis at UFC 319, Costa took to social media with some brutal criticism. Here's exactly what the Brazilian bad boy said, and I quote, "He just hold the guys and smell his for 25 minutes. One more fight, everybody gonna have enough of this guy." Now that's some serious trash talk right there. Costa is basically calling out Chimaev's fighting style, saying he just wrestles and holds opponents without creating any real excitement. And honestly, Costa wasn't the only one feeling this way. Even fans at the arena were booing during the fight.
Chimaev going to say you are a coward, and I'm here, I'm gonna look for you, I'm gonna chase for you, and I will not stop until I get to you.
This beef between Costa and Chimaev has been brewing for months. Remember, Chimaev previously dismissed Costa, saying his bank account was 10 times better and calling the Brazilian poor. Well, it looks like Costa is firing back with interest. The question is, does Costa have a point about Chimaev's fighting style, or is this just sour grapes from someone who's been calling for this fight forever? But wait, there's more. Costa isn't just targeting Chimaev. He's also got his sights set on his upcoming opponent, Shara Bullet Magomedov. And this one gets dark, folks.
Of course, everybody knows I don't like the guy. He didn't beat anybody in the middleweight division, top contenders or something, or even top 15. He didn't beat anybody in the top 15 middleweight division. How you can take this guy serious? You know, he barely cold beat Usman in 10 days short notice. Usman is a welterweight. He didn't cut away to middleweight, and everybody saw that fight. I was there. After beat Whittaker, bro, I will not want to hear his name. Him. He need to do something. He need to beat somebody at least top 10 in the middleweight. He didn't yet, and I don't think he's capable.
For those who don't know, Costa is set to fight Magomedov at UFC Qatar on November 22nd. Now, what makes this particularly interesting and controversial is that Magomedov fights with only one functional eye after a training injury early in his career. And Costa? Well, he decided to address this in the most Paulo Costa way possible. Check out what he posted on social media. One single good eye poke. Be penalized with one less point. Shara fights 100% blind. Deal. Yikes, that's definitely crossing some lines right there. Costa is basically making a joke about potentially eye-poking a fighter who already has vision in only one eye. Now, for context, Magomedov has been incredibly inspiring in his journey. Despite losing his eye and requiring 8 surgeries, he's built a 16-1 record with 12 knockouts. He's drawn inspiration from Michael Bisping, who also fought effectively with one eye after his injury. Magomedov is a legit threat too. He's coming off spectacular knockouts, including that insane double-spinning back fist that went viral. This isn't going to be an easy fight for Costa, despite his trash talk. Now, let's put this all in perspective. Paulo Costa is at a crossroads in his career right now. The 34-year-old Brazilian has only won one of his last 5 fights before his recent victory over Roman Kopylov at UFC 318.
Way out, hanging tough.
Oh, then he went high.
And this is now the longest pro fight of Paulo Costa's career.
He's hurt.
Might end here shortly.
But Johnny's still firing back.
But look at Costa, the young guy, not just headhunting here. Point to the bottom.
That's it.
Whoa! Paulo Costa does it again.
Costa built his reputation as this aggressive knockout artist with that incredible 13-0 run, but losses to top guys like Israel Adesanya, Robert Whittaker, and Sean Strickland have pushed him down to 13th in the middleweight rankings. So why is Costa being so vocal and controversial? It's simple. He needs attention and momentum. He's admitted that he's trying to rebuild relationships with the UFC brass and put on exciting fights to convince them he's worth investing in again. His fight with Shara Magomedov represents a real opportunity. Magomedov is unranked but extremely dangerous. A win here, especially an impressive one, could put Costa back in the conversation for bigger fights. Maybe even that Chimaev fight he's been calling for. But here's the thing, Costa's trash talk might be backfiring. Making jokes about a fighter's disability isn't exactly endearing him to fans or the UFC. There's a heel, and then there's crossing lines that maybe shouldn't be crossed. So what's next for Paulo Costa? Well, first he's got to handle business against Shara Magomedov in Qatar. And despite his trash talk, this is not going to be an easy fight. Magomedov has incredible striking skills, combining his background as a Russian Muay Thai champion with devastating power. That double-spinning backfist knockout showed he can end fights in spectacular fashion. If Costa wins impressively, maybe he gets that Chimaev fight he's been desperately wanting. If he loses, well, at 34 years old with his recent record, it might be time to seriously reconsider his approach to both fighting and promoting himself. As for Chimaev, the new champion will likely be looking at bigger names for his first title defense, but never say never in the fight game. If Costa keeps making noise and picking up wins, stranger things have happened. Until next time, keep your hands up and your eyes on the prize. This is signing off. We'll see you in the next one.
It was largely uneventful. It wasn't exactly a blockbuster, and Alex Pereira kind of showed up. He was a little flat-footed, he didn't execute, he didn't pull the trigger, and for the most part allowed Magomed Ankalaev to put him on the back foot, to threat takedowns, to push him up against the fence, and outstrike one of the best strikers that the UFC's ever seen. So can Alex Pereira come back and beat him in the rematch?
Aí, tem que ser mais agressivo só. Você entendeu? Tenta lá fundão, Bruno. Tipo aquele. É, foi igual a Rafael. É mais difícil pra ele, vai.
Go. Go. Here we go. Alright, good. Bora. Levanta, levanta. Get up. Bora. Vamos. É.
Olha, consegui.